Okay, so first off, what is EventBrite? So EventBrite is an online event management platform, and it's really nice because you can use it to manage your events from anywhere that you have internet access. And so with that, you can also, people who want to sign up for your events can also sign up from anywhere where as long as they have the right link and they have internet access to. So it's really handy. It allows for easy tracking of event registrations. So you can always see how well your event's doing, how many tickets you've sold, and it just helps you keep track of all that important information as well. And then EventBrite also allows for us to send payouts to specific offices, which is really nice for Extension because, as you guys know, in Extension we have offices all over the state and a ton of different programs. So this just works really well for us to be able to send checks directly to whoever's putting on the event, and it doesn't have to come to us. So it just is really, really easy for us to do it that way. So there is a little bit of a cost for EventBrite. First off, it is free for free tickets. So if your event doesn't cost anything, then EventBrite's not going to charge you anything. But once you get into selling paid tickets, that's when it changes. And so what their current fee for the package we have right now, we have the professional package. They charge 3.5% of the ticket cost. So if your ticket's $10, they charge you 3.5% of $10, and then plus $1.59 per paid ticket. But we really think that this cost is beneficial. It doesn't end up being a whole lot. And for all the features that EventBrite has to offer, we just really think it's worth it. It's just nice because once you get everything set up in EventBrite, you basically don't have to take care of anything from there. So we think that this cost is definitely worth it. So I think the best way to learn how to use EventBrite is by seeing how it works. So today I just want to show you guys how to set up an event, how you can manage the payouts, which is super important, viewing registrations. Then we're also going to go into some other stuff like how to set up a discount code and some different ways that you can manage attendees because there's a bunch of different customization options that you can do with this. So let's just get right into it. So we're just going to go jump over into EventBrite, if I can remember how. Okay. So here is EventBrite. It's really easy to get to. It's just www.eventbrite.com. If you guys, I'm already logged in. You can see right here, but if you've never logged in before, it'll prompt you to log in. If you don't have any access or login credentials, you can contact me and I can set you up with that. And then, so once you're in, this is the main page. You'll see right here on this top toolbar, you can just go into create an event. So we're just going to go ahead and click that. Also, if anyone has any questions as we're going through this, just let me know. I think we have a chat box that you should be able to chat and type up your questions, and I will answer them when I see them. Let's see, you guys can't see EventBrite. Do I need to just share this right here?
Yeah.
Great. Can you guys see that now? Are they seeing you or me right now?
They should be able to see it because I can see it.
Okay, great. So I'll go backwards just in case you guys missed that. So here's EventBrite right here. Right here is where you can log in if you have an account, and then right here is we're gonna push this right here to create an event. Okay, so here's where we just enter in all of our event details. So for this one, this is just gonna be a fake event, obviously. We'll just go ahead and call it USU, if I can type today, event training. And then right here's where you can put an address. This part is actually super important, obviously, because people need to know where they can find you. And if you don't have the correct address in, even if like there's just one little number off or one part that's off, EventBrite can't index you and get you into their search. So you won't show up in any of their, like if people are searching for an event in Logan, you won't show up in that. So we had that happen with one of the events that we had on here a couple couple months ago, I think, and we figured out that that was the problem. So it's super important to make sure that you have your event in here correctly. So for now, I'll just put my location as the event. Great, and you can see right here, it pulls up the map image, and that'll show up for the viewers to see as well. Here's where you can pick your start and end dates. So we'll just say that this is going to start tomorrow at, we'll just say like 1:30. And then it's also going to end tomorrow at 4:30. That works. It's super flexible. You can choose any dates and times that you need. Also, it's nice if you have an event that is going to be recurring, you can click this and go in and schedule different dates, which is nice. So you don't have to create a separate EventBrite for each recurring event. You can just do one and it'll take care of it for you. We won't worry about that right now though. So right here is where you can add an event image, and I highly recommend that you do this. It just makes the whole thing a lot more visually appealing and professional looking. So I have a picture that I just found to put in here really quick. And you'll see that when it pulls up, it'll give you, it'll allow you to crop your image. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that up there and add that. Make sure that when you do your event image that you use one that's the right size. Here's a recommended size. If it's too small, it's going to show up stretched, out of proportion, and it's just going to be pixely, and that never looks good. So make sure you do that. Here's the event description. Now this is where you can just give a general description of your event and what's going on. But here it's also good to include information such as parking. You can include a URL to another website for more information. Really just anything. If they need to bring certain items or can't bring certain items, that's a good thing. Another thing that I think is helpful is to include the contact information for a person here. How our EventBrite is set up is USU Extension has the main account, and then we have different, they're called organizer profiles set up underneath of that. So when someone emails us a question, it goes directly to the USU Extension email and not the event organizer's email. So I would recommend putting your contact person here in the event description just so that it's easier for people to get a hold of you if they do have questions. We'll do our best to get those questions answered or get them forwarded to you, but this is just more helpful. And then if you know you're going to have some frequently asked questions, EventBrite also allows you to add a specific questions that need to be answered. So here's some that you can check. So we could say like, what can I bring to the event? Here's one for how can I contact the organizer? We'll just do those two for now, but there's a whole bunch that you could add and then put your answer right here. So that's really helpful. And then something that this is really, really important right here is your organizer name. So as I said before, we have an organizer profile for every extension office and program. And if you don't have one, get a hold of me and let me know, and I can get one created for you. But it's really important that you make sure that you pick the right organizer name. So if Utah County Extension Office is putting this on, we're just going to select their organizer name. And so everything will be sent with their information. And then another thing you can do, and we'll get into this a little bit more when we go to different customization options, but you can link this to Facebook and Twitter, which I really, really recommend. And then I'll show you more that you can do with Facebook here in just a little bit, but I recommend doing that. I'm just going to click that for right now. Okay, here's when it's not complicated, but you have to put in a few more details, is when you go in to create your tickets. So you can see that EventBrite offers you the ability to do free tickets, a paid ticket, or a donation. We typically don't do donations. I'm sure someone has at some point in time, but I've never done an event with just a donation. So free tickets and paid tickets are definitely the most common. So we'll just do a free ticket for an example. So we'll just call this one early bird. That's a common one that people do, if that's going to work. Perfect. And we'll say that we have 25 of these available and they're free. So at that point, you don't really have to do anything else. We can click this little settings button and you can go in if you feel like you need to add more of a description, go for it. And then sales channel basically stay the same. Here's where you, and then right here, you can customize your ticket sales and your ticket sales end date. So for early bird, you're probably maybe gonna only have it go for a couple of weeks. So we can have this end like the end of January. And then you can customize your times here as well. And then if you want to only allow people to order so many of these tickets at a time, then you can set that. So say I only want people to be able to get 5 of these early bird tickets with each order, then you can set that. Let me get in and show you how to do a paid ticket too. So paid ticket, let's just call this general admission. And we'll do 100 of these, and we'll just charge $10 a piece. Let's go back into settings on this ticket so that we can customize this a little bit. So down here is where I was talking about earlier with the fees. So this is how much it's going to charge you, $1.53. So you have 2 options. You can either pass the fees on, or you can absorb the fees yourself, and EventBrite will just take it out of your check before they send it to you. I recommend, and as a marketing office, we recommend this as well, that you just absorb the fees. From a marketing standpoint, it's just better, and it's easier to just charge our attendees a flat fee. So instead of charging them for like $9.50, we're going to charge them $10 just because it's easier. And so we just recommend you absorb fees. As I said before, the fees really aren't that much. And so what you can do is just set your ticket prices high enough so that this fee isn't really impacting you and you're still getting the revenue in that you want. I'll go ahead and just minimize this now. That's really the big part right here. This refund policy is huge. So you have a bunch of different options: 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, or no refunds at all. But it's really important that you can see right here, it says once your event is published, a refund policy cannot be changed or added. So keep that in mind, because what you pick is what you pick and you can't change it after the fact. So keep that in mind. Additional settings, usually these will always be public. I bet you don't have to change that very often. And then for this fake event that we're doing, we'll just say that it's a class, training, or workshop. And then we'll put it into business and professional. And that works. So then you go down right here, and we're just going to go ahead and make your event live. Sorry, our internet's being a little slow in here today. Okay, so now our event is live. So this is your event dashboard. And once we have actually sold some tickets, it'll have more information, but this is just gonna give you a really quick glance. Well, we'll get to this later. But this is gonna give you a really quick glance of how many tickets you've sold, how many paid versus free tickets you have, how much money you've made, and just good stuff like that. So good information just to look at quickly. And then you'll see right here, you have a bunch of different customization options that EventBrite has. And so I just want to go through a few of these because there's some really cool features that are here that I don't know if a lot of people know about. But first off, the most important one over here is probably the payment options. So this is where you go in and select the address that you want EventBrite to send your check to. So let's go look over here. Perfect. Right there, here it comes. Now it's finally loading. So right now we don't have an address, but we can select a payout method right here. And there should be an address in here for every organizer profile that we have created. But just in case there's not, make sure you add yours. This is, like I said before, where they're going to send your check. So this is kind of your responsibility. If you don't select the right address and they send it to the wrong place, it'll be your responsibility to track it down and find it. So make sure you do this right. That's really important. And that's the only thing you really need to worry about right here. So let's go down right here to order options. And there's another good feature here where you can actually customize your order form. So right here with we're just collecting basic information right now. So I think that means we're just getting their email and their first and last name, and of course their card number if they're getting a paid ticket. But you can change it down here just to buyer only if you want. And then you can go down here and customize any of this other information that if you want to find. So here's their billing address. If you want their home shipping address, like if you're going to be sending them some sort of product, you can switch to that. You can get their home address. And it gets really specific down here. And if you want to create something that isn't available here, you can just go ahead and click this question and add your own field, which is really helpful. And then if you need, so say you have an attendee who is buying a bunch of tickets for several people, but you need specific information for each individual who's going to be coming with that ticket. You can also change it to each attendee. And then you'll be collecting this information for every single ticket, not just for the buyer. So that's another good thing to keep in mind. Something else right here that is super helpful is creating a wait list. So if you have a really popular event that you just ran out of tickets for, but there are still people who want to sign up, you can go ahead and enable the wait list. And you can set it specifically when you want it to trigger. And so usually we'll just do it when total event capacity is reached. And then you can also set your maximum waitlist size. 0 is unlimited, so it'll get as how many ever people can sign up for it when it's unlimited. Or you can set it to like 100 if you don't want it to get that big. And then this will be the message that they're sent if any tickets become available. You do have to go in and automatically release tickets to the waitlist. So if that becomes an issue that you need help with, just let me know and I can help you do that. But we don't have any buyers, so I can't show you how to release waitlist tickets right now. But this is really helpful because you're going to get more people to your event in the case that some tickets come open, but also it allows us to collect emails for any future marketing efforts that you might want to do for this event. So that's also really, really helpful. And the next section that I want to go to is the invite and promote section. So right here you can see you can actually add your event to Facebook. And I 100% recommend doing this. So by adding your event to Facebook, you're just either adding it to an event page that you've already created on Facebook or creating a new one just from right here. And this is super helpful because it allows people to buy tickets straight from Facebook. They don't even have to leave your event page. They can enter in all of their information from there. And so at least in my experience, whenever we've done this, we've sold a lot more tickets and we've sold them a lot faster as well. So this is really great and you should definitely do this. If you need help setting this up, let me know. Another thing that's cool is you can actually set up discount and access codes. So if you want to do an early bird special or you have some people that you want to give 10 off to, like some email list subscribers or anything like that, you can create a discount code to send out to them. So it's super simple. All you need to do is go to new code, and we'll usually only do them for this event only, and then a coded discount, and then all tickets. We'll just do all tickets in the current event. And then you can name it whatever you want. We'll just do like 5 off. And they're going to get $5 off with that ticket. And then you can change it right here to where they can either have unlimited uses or limit it to like 50 times, whatever you want to do. We'll just leave it unlimited for right now. And we'll have it start now and end when the sales end. So continue. Confirm that. Okay, so now our code has been added. I'll go back in and show you how people will use that. But that's a really great way, or a really great feature that I don't know if some people know about. And then down here, we're going to go into managing our attendees next. And right here you can see how many people have ordered, their specific information. You can add attendees manually. I don't know if you'll ever have to do that, but that is a feature if you need to. And here's a really cool feature where you can actually send out and schedule emails to go out to your attendees through EventBrite. So when you create your event, EventBrite automatically creates one to be sent out 48 hours before the event begins. You can delete that if you want to do your own, but then you can also create more to go out any other time. So we'll just go in and create a practice one. Great. So right here, you're just going to want to make sure that you have whoever you're sending it from. So we put the event organizer as Utah County, which is why it's coming from them, but you can change it to whatever you need to. And then the reply to email, I would change this. I would use the reply email as whoever the contact is for this. So like, I'll just put my name right now. And then it'll just send to all attendees, and then we can change the subject. So we'll just say reminder, USU EventBrite training. And then you can just add your message here. I would delete that. Just add message here. Perfect. So it's super simple. You can also add, you can hyperlink anything, you can add some images, anything that you think is going to be helpful. I've sent this out with like additional parking information before. So just any reminders or information that they are going to need. It's always helpful to send a test message. I recommend doing this just to make sure everything's working. And then here's where it's nice is you can go in and either send the email right away, or you can schedule it to go out at a later date. So that's really helpful. I'm not going to worry about sending that now, obviously, but. And then another feature that is cool is right here in Checkin. So you have the ability to print off an attendee list that'll just be a hard copy if you're just checking in people at a desk and you just want to scratch their name off. But you can do that here by searching their names if you don't want to print off a hard copy. But something that's really cool is EventBrite has this app. It's called EventBrite Organizer. And you can just download it and put it on any Apple or Android device. And so when people come with their tickets, they can either have them printed off or just have them on their cell phone. You just scan a QR code and it'll automatically check them in for you. So that's a really nice and easy option. Do keep in mind that you have to have internet or Wi-Fi to be able to use EventBrite Organizer. So keep that in mind, but if you ever want to set that up, let me know and I'll help you get into that as well. Great, so let's go back to, let's just go back to design. Perfect, and right here you can actually see where we can view it. So let's just go in there. This will show us how our attendees are seeing it. Perfect. So this is what it looks like. You can see right here how important it is to have a good picture because it takes up a lot of the room. And here it is. It's pretty simple. I'll show you really quickly how the discount code will work just in case you ever get any questions with that. So here's the tickets. Right here you'll see they give you the option to enter a promotional code. So right here, you can just go in, type in 5 off, and there it is. And then they'll just go through the checkout process once they select their ticket. So it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward, not too complicated. That's all I had. So if anyone has any questions, we can take those right now. We don't want to share. I have a question. I don't know if I can. How do you see if there's any questions coming in? Right here. Okay, great. Maybe. There it is. Perfect. Well, if nobody has any questions, really you'll probably have more questions once you actually get into doing EventBrite for yourself. So just email me. My email is Aubrey, aubree.thomas@usu.edu, or give me a call and I'll be happy to help you out. I'm definitely not an EventBrite expert by any means, but I'm figuring it out. And actually, if you ever do need any help, EventBrite has some really good resources. just go to EventBrite or eventbrite.com/support, and you can even do live chat, or they have a bunch of frequently asked questions, but the live chat has been super helpful for me and has helped me figure out some stuff really quickly. So thanks for attending, guys. I hope I was able to give you some tips and tricks on EventBrite, and I look forward to hearing from you. So